I'm not really a big fan of director's cuts usually. I'm not a big fan of extended editions on DVD. Sometimes if there's a director's cut, if there's a real, reason for it, like the Blade Runner one is probably the most obvious example where that was the original ending and that was how it was originally intended. But I'm happy with the final version. I mean, there are deleted scenes on the DVD. I think the DVD has like 30 minutes of stuff, and in different forms, like in longer forms. I think the first time I did an edit of it, it was 126 minutes long, which and when you're making a film like this, you got to kind of weigh it up between fans of the books and also kind of, some people would rather see a 90-minute movie, so you kind of got to sort of end up slap bang in the middle. I think the only thing that I would have done, I'm very happy with the final version. If it was up to me, I probably would have played all of the songs at full length, so it was like a proper musical. But on the DVD, you get to see everything. So I don't think there'll ever be, we won't do like a rip-off in 6 months' time. Hey,
Of the three
new
James
cut
Cameron
edition.
versions. Yeah.
Kim and Knives are probably the two hardest parts we had to cast, or certainly Ellen Wong auditioned in Toronto, and she was great. And when I think I saw her 3 times, and then when I met her to talk about it, in a sort of non-audition kind of way, she said to me, she goes, "You don't understand, I am Knives." And I think she read the books and really, she's this, from the same upbringing, and she kind of became like Knives Chow on set. She got totally method and stuff, and she was amazing. And Kim Pine was like a really difficult part to cast. We saw lots and lots of people, and Alison Pill originally read for a different part. And when I saw her, I said, "Oh, she should be reading for Kim," and we got her back in. And then as soon as she did Kim Pine, it was like, that's it. So yeah, she was brilliant. But I think Alison's amazing in it, and I know if I had any reservations about the film, it's that there should be more Alison Pill as Kim Pine in it, because she's incredible. It would depend on what it would be, really, because I think sort of that really depends on whether, if that ever happened, I think it would really be whether Brian did any more material. I think Brian said he's done with the books. He's released 6 volumes and that's it, and we cover parts of all 6 in the film. So there isn't really any more story to tell, and I don't know. It probably wouldn't happen anyway. I mean, maybe if there was anything more to do with it, it would be to do an anime version of the books with the voice cast and stuff. That would be fun. But also I make a film every 3 years, and I feel like if I'm fortunate enough to make more films, I want to make different stories and stuff. So I kind of, if I can, touch wood, just keep moving with new stuff. No, and don't know.
There's nothing at all you can say.
There is an idea that we had, and I think sort of me and Simon plan to probably towards the end of next year, because he's really busy and I'm pretty busy in the first half of the year as well. Try and write something towards the end of next year. So, but I think sort of really we want to kind of write it when me, Simon and Nick really want to work together again, and we want to make another film in the UK. I think that's really important to all 3 of us, and we have an idea. But I think after the sort of Hot Fuzz press tour, we were a little bit burnt out with everybody trying to predict what the next film would be. I think you kind of feel like you start to feel like you're on somebody else's schedule, and I feel like we want to make another film when it's something that we really want to write, rather than sort of something that we think we ought to. So, but we have an idea. Whether that'll still be the next thing, I don't know. I kind of regret the day I ever mentioned a trilogy. It came up as a joke about cornettos. And having the only reason that the cornettos are in both films is that in Shaun of the Dead we mentioned cornettos, and at the premiere, Walls gave us free cornettos at the Shaun of the Dead premiere. So we thought for a lark we'd mention cornettos again in Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz premiere, no cornettos. No Walls. What happened? We gave you another plug. No cornettos. So we figure that maybe we'll just do another film and mention cornettos just to see if we can make it, you know, the third time they'll turn up with more ice cream. That's it. We're just trying to get ice cream out of walls. I think it's a bit of both, I guess. It's an advantage in that, you know, he's a character to maybe have a little bit more fun with and license with. And it's funny, I met Stan Lee in the States, and he said to me that he always... The Ant-Man was the one character that he'd come up with that he never felt like they quite got it right, himself included, that when he used to write it, that he felt like they never quite nailed it, but it was always like the best idea. And I tend to agree. I mean, he's obviously like been, you know, like I remember reading it as a kid. I had like a Marvel premiere from 1979 of like John Byrne's Ant-Man, and I used to really like that. And I think it's like a great kind of premise because you've never seen like an Incredible Shrinking Man film where the person who can shrink is the hero. Usually it's kind of somebody in peril. So most shrinking films are people in peril, and I thought it'd be a fun idea to see somebody who's like, you know, can kick ass, who's this big.